assisting with the go-to-market plan. Good morning, loves. Welcome back to another productive day in my life as a marketing specialist as well as a content creator. I haven't done a productive day in my life video in such a long time, so I thought it was time that I caught you up and also took you through my day as I worked on some very exciting new marketing projects that I have going on, as well as some content projects going on. I'm actually really excited for this video because I am filming this video in collaboration with Logitech for the launch of their new MX Creative Console. I'm pretty much always looking for new ways and tools to help me speed up as well as optimize my workflow, especially my creative workflow. So when Logitech announced that they're launching a project specifically geared towards creative professional and it integrates seamlessly with Adobe Suite, you can imagine my excitement. They actually sent over their brand new project, the MX Creative Console, for me to try and integrate into my workflow. So I've been using this for about, I don't know, like 3-ish weeks now. So as I'm taking you through my day as a marketing specialist and content creator, I'm gonna show you how this has been working for me and exactly how I use it for all the different tasks that I work on. I'm honestly feeling really good and really happy to be doing productive day in my life videos again. I was definitely entering a period of content creation where I was feeling really confused about who I was, both as a creator as well as a marketer, and because of that, I felt really lost and I started to really overthink my content. But some of you left the nicest and just like most inspiring and motivating comments on one of my community posts lately, so thank you if you did that, and just thank you to anyone who leaves comments on my videos because I genuinely read every single one of them, and they really do mean so much to me. They truly fuel me as somebody on the internet. So thank you for that. But anywho, before I get really emotional about this, because I've been emotional about this for quite some time, let's get started with my workday. Lately, instead of having multiple coffees a day, I've just been having matchas, and this matcha is so good. It's actually from a Vancouver creator whose name is Joe Lee, and he created a coffee shop called Cow Dog Coffee, and he recently launched Do Matcha Bar as well, and they actually worked with a matcha company to create this matcha, their house brand matcha, and it is so creamy, so delicious, probably one of the best matchas that I've had. Okay, so this Creative Console, it is so cool. The first time I set it up was also super easy. It's pretty much just a plug and play sort of device. If you've used any Logitech products before, like their keyboard or my favorite mouse of all time, the MX Master Mouse, you'll know that it uses the Logi Options Plus software so that you can customize it, set different functions for different buttons, and so the Creative Console will work with the Logi options. There will probably be an update for you, so once you update, you'll be able to use it with your Creative Console, and you can pretty much customize the Creative Console to do whatever you want. From there, you'll be able to start setting up your profiles, and because Logitech worked with Adobe on this project, all of the Adobe Creative Cloud products will already be on the Logitech marketplace, so you just have to download it and it'll give you these custom-made profiles for you to use. I actually really love that they've created a marketplace for this product because it means that anyone who wants to create a plugin to be used with the Creative Console, you can do that, and then you can list it on the marketplace to share it with other people. I really feel like they thought out this product really well because not only is it made for creative people, but it also provides the space for creators of plugins and software to really come in and completely make the Creative Console their own and then be able to share it with other people and potentially even charge for their plugins that they build. Also, anything you have a keyboard shortcut for, you'll be able to add it to your Creative Console. So I've sort of been playing around with it and just customizing it so that it pulls up all of my most used tools, and I love using it with Adobe. So I'm super excited to show you my new optimized workflow. Gotta do the matcha pour up close because she's gorgeous. I mean, look at that color. Oh wait, it's kind of dark, but the color is stunning. I might have done one ice cube too many this time. She's looking real full. Okay, let's talk about the things that I need to get done today. I do kind of have a busy day, so let's chat it through together because it helps me sort of prep for the day as well. So earlier this year, I made a shift in my career and went from working as a marketing director in tech full-time, which a lot of you will have seen in my past videos, to actually becoming a freelancer / contractor marketing specialist while also pursuing entrepreneurship and content creation a little bit more full-time. So no, I have not completely left the marketing world or even the tech world. I've sort of just shifted my priorities, like the time I'm spending in that career path, over to more of an entrepreneurial sort of space. So currently on the marketing side of my to-do list, I am working on two pretty major projects. One is website related. I've worked on so many website projects just over the years in my career, and still they're some of my favorites because you really get to do the creative and the copywriting and the strategizing and the SEO, and there's just so many different moving parts, and I personally really like larger projects like that. The other project that I'm working on is a little bit more confidential, but essentially we will be taking a proprietary software that my client has and bringing it to market. So I will be assisting with the go-to-market plan, the branding, the content strategy. The last time that I was really a part of a go-to-market plan like this was when I was working full-time and we launched our product Truly Small. Actually, it wasn't even just one product, it was multiple products. So we had Truly Small invoices, Truly Small expenses, and then Truly Small accounting. So the tasks that are related to those two projects that I need to work on today is, one, I need to go through all of my clients' notes and start touching up the Figma for the website project. And then for the go-to-market plan, we're still in very, very early stages. So I'm just gonna be reading over like every tech doc, release doc, any internal sales documents, and watching any workshops that my client already has on this proprietary software that they have, and essentially just synthesizing the information and creating a deck to share with the rest of the marketing team so that we are all on the same page about what the product does, who the product is for, and maybe some early ideas on what we need to do to get this to market. I'm not expecting to finish that entire deck today, but I am looking forward to at least getting it started. Now, on the content creation side, I do want to create some new graphics for my podcast Feel Good Lab. I'm definitely going to prioritize the marketing tasks first, but if I have time, I do have a lot of editing to do. And actually, my friend had a birthday yesterday and I took some really cute photos of the event with my Digicam, so I want to edit those photos in Lightroom as well. Okay, without further ado, I really need to get started on this if I actually plan on getting through this task list. So let's go. I have my tasks written out in my notebook, but I'm gonna actually pop them into my Akiflow and sort of just time block my day first to make sure I'm able to stay on track. I've actually set up a profile on my Creative Console for Akiflow. I've set them up for pretty much all the apps that I use the most. So that means all of the keyboard shortcuts that I have within Akiflow, I actually just added it to my Creative Console, so it's super easy for me to just reach up and hit the specific action that I'm looking for. I also love how easy they make it for you to set up different profiles. So once you're in your Logi Options Plus, you can click either the scroll wheel or the little pad that they have, and then essentially you can go in and create profiles for different apps. So for my Akiflow one, I've just added all of the keyboard shortcuts that I use the most, which are Add New Task, Command Bar, Inbox, Upcoming, and Availability. So now that I'm actually inside of Akiflow, I can just go Create New Task, Marketing Task, and then even do Command Bar to schedule it. So I'm just gonna map out my day and then hop right into Figma to get started on the website design project. All right, I think I've gone through most of the comments. There's definitely still some edits that I need to make in Figma, but I realized that I forgot to journal today. Who am I? Okay, so let's get some journaling done. I actually recently got this new portfolio cover from Paper Republic. So I'm gonna take a quick break and get some journaling done. I love journaling. I actually started to post some of my journal prompts on my Instagram as stories, and I have a little highlight that highlights all of the journal prompts that I've been using lately. All right, let's dive into Figma. So even though I do use Photoshop and Illustrator a lot for my design work, Figma is the tool that I use for collaboration and sort of putting things together for website projects so that I can send it over to a developer really easily. When I'm using Figma specifically, some of the shortcuts that I use the most are K for scale, Shift A for auto frame. The fact that I didn't use auto frame for like the first 2 years of using Figma is wild to me because it is one of the most useful tools that Figma has. And then I have T for text, Option H and Option V for align horizontal and align vertical. I have to do this hand gesture to remember what the keys are. F for frame, and then Command G for group. So I've laid all of that out in my creative keypad so that now all I have to do is reach for my keypad and I'll be able to access all of my keyboard shortcuts right there. And then as far as the little dial goes, I have the main dial set to zoom in and out. Being able to incrementally zoom into a piece of design as I'm working on it is so intuitive and useful. And then this little dial up here I use for scrolling up and down. So this is particularly useful when I have a very long piece of design, like a website page that has a lot of different sections. So I'm able to move up and down that specific page really easily. I did set these two buttons as zoom in and zoom out as well, but as the keyboard shortcuts. And then I did set this button, which is where my thumb would go, as spacebar, which may seem kind of random, but the reason for that is because when you are panning around Figma and actually around some of the Adobe tools, you have to hold spacebar and then move your mouse around the page. The keyboard shortcuts that you use most in an app could be totally different from what I use, but the great thing about both the creative keypad and the dial is that you can set everything to your specific workflow. I honestly couldn't imagine working within Figma or Notion or Akiflow or any of the Adobe Creative Cloud tools without my Creative Console now. But also the really nice thing about it is that it's small enough that I can pack both things away in a luggage or in my backpack with me and just kind of take it with me if I'm on the go. I genuinely wish these existed when I used to do a lot more design work because it's a game changer. All right, I'm gonna try to get at least the homepage MVP design finished today so that I can get it over to my developer. And then we're gonna start working on reading and synthesizing the product info for this go-to-market plan. Love the office vibes at night with the pink lights, but anywho, let's move on to some editing work, both in Premiere and in Lightroom. Of all of the Adobe Suite tools, I probably use Premiere the most because I do a lot of video editing work, both for my marketing freelance work, as well as obviously for this YouTube channel. So every video that you watch on my YouTube for the podcast, they're all edited within Premiere, which is why I think I love using the Creative Console the most for Premiere Pro. Because if you know anything about Adobe tools, is that there are common and like shared features between each of the creative tools. However, there are different keyboard shortcuts. And I think that's one of the reasons why Adobe does have a bit of a learning curve when you're just starting out. But when you have your creative keypad, you'll be able to see all of the most commonly used tools and shortcuts right on the screen. So you never have to go searching for any of the features that you need to use. This has actually come in really handy as I've been learning more tools and more features that I like to use within Adobe, because now whenever I see something that a different creator or designer is using and I have to look for it, I can just flip through the pages on here and I'll typically find them in here because they've created a profile with some of the most common tools that you will find as the default profile. So for the Premiere Pro default profile, you have stuff like import presets, expand the screen, which can be really useful when you're focusing on specific things in the video, toggle track select tool, the marker tool, which I use a lot as I'm going through the first cut of my video, so I can leave myself little notes about where to add B-roll, where to add animations. For my little dial, I have the top switch set as the zoom button, the big dial to sort of comb through my timeline, and then I have undo and redo because those are so important. So let's do some work in Premiere, and then we're gonna end the night off editing some videos for fun. Also, the buttons on these, so satisfying to click. Like, I don't know if you can hear it. It's just so satisfying. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I am freaking exhausted. So, I'm cutting it off. Hard stop on the work. If you want to see how I use the Creative Console for other tools, please let me know because I'd be happy to walk you through how I've integrated this even further into my productivity workflow. I think just as I use it, I keep finding little things here and there where I'm like, ooh, that would be a great shortcut, and then I will go in and add it in. So it's definitely still been a process, although I feel like I'm already so dependent on it for these specific shortcuts. So the coolest thing about my experience using the Creative Console, specifically the keypad with Lightroom, is I actually learned about some features of Lightroom that I didn't know before from the default keypad profile. There's definitely some tools that I was already previously using, but because I'm not a power user of Lightroom, I use it quite simply just for color correcting photos. I had no idea that some of these features existed. For example, did you know that there was an auto upright feature in Lightroom? Meaning I have been wasting my time just adjusting the rotation bit by bit, trying to make sure everything lines up when Lightroom can actually do it for you. Other quick shortcuts that are on the default profile are auto white balance, pick image, reset image. You can rate it different stars. But three of the most useful buttons that I have found are copy develop settings, paste develop settings, and then the before and after button. I'm honestly so impressed about how intuitive they've actually set up these profiles. And especially for someone who isn't a power user of this specific tool, knowing how other people work or what Adobe think are the most useful tools have helped me kind of grow and learn a better workflow within Lightroom. I'm doing a bit of a camera inception right now because I have my other camera filming the screen so you can see what I'm doing. I just took some really silly, fun photos at my friend's birthday party yesterday, so I'm just gonna use my Creative Console and just make adjustments to the photos. I actually really like how the Digicam photos turn out, but I'm just gonna play around with maybe some of the colors. I personally like them to be a tad warmer, but then a tad brighter as well. I love this photo. I think it looks so fun. So I'm gonna just make sure I flag that as a pic. And then I can go in and copy develop settings and paste it to another image. It's so helpful. Ugh. I know I'm being a tad obsessive, but really truly it's been such a long time since I found a physical tool that has changed and actually upgraded my workflow this much. As with anything I talk about in my videos, I'm going to include a link in the description box where you can actually find the Logitech Creative Console if you're interested in checking it out. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and leave me a comment letting me know what your favorite feature was that I mentioned and what video you want to see next. But that's it. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!